Hey, man.
Hey, sorry to call you so late.
No problem. How
No,
are
I'm
you?
not putting you off. I have been a little bit busy lately, but
Sure.
don't ever think I get upset or I'm one of those artistic people who think that
No,
I'm
no.
somebody because I'm not. So
It's cool, man. It's cool.
I'm just a normal dude.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, of course I want to talk. I just right now is my peak working time.
Yeah, I've seen you're really busy with a dog thing.
Yeah, and other things that I don't talk about.
Yeah, that
But
must.
anyhow, brother, everything I tell you will be completely the truth. So
Sure.
you can count on that.
Yeah, I know.
Um, I may not be the nicest guy sometimes when I speak because I tell the truth.
Sure. Sure.
But other than that, people can say he's an asshole. Yes, I am. But
Yeah.
he's a liar. No, probably not.
No. That's cool. So do
He
you
has
have a couple of minutes now, or?
maybe like 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, I have 5 minutes. Is it
Okay.
okay for you that I talk on the phone?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
So,
Okay,
what
go
do
ahead,
you
brother.
want to get into?
What do
Like,
I want?
yeah, what do you want to get
What,
into
what do you
talking
want
about?
to? What do you want to talk? What do you want to talk about?
Just maybe start a little bit about your background. Or are you born in Seattle or?
I was born in Los Angeles, but I moved to Washington State at a very young age. Um, I started in the music industry in 1989.
Oh yeah, your
Yeah,
your
I moved
dad
to.
was kind of into the music
Yeah,
business or something.
my dad was there in 1988,
Oh yeah.
and he formed a management company.
Mm-hmm.
A matter of fact, it was called WebWorks, like the spider makes a web.
Oh yeah, yeah.
WebWorks,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad's name was Spider.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah,
he's very well known in the music community.
yeah.
Um, my brother,
Mm.
who was 2 years younger than me, so at the time he was 15, he moved over there with my father, and he started working. Both of them were encouraged to move over by the sound company called NAF Productions,
Mm-hmm.
which will be the most important name in music someday because he has more time with all these bands than anybody ever to exist.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's awesome.
so, so my brother and father were working for NAF,
Mm-hmm.
and on the side, my father was always outletting, trying to create management and other contacts for to benefit from music, of course. My dad was a hustler, so
Yeah.
back
I
so
saw some story that he was asking to join Alice in Chains at some point.
yeah, that's my story.
Yeah.
It was late at our house one night, and they were partying. Everyone, they like to do cocaine. I don't do cocaine, but
No.
wherever the coke was, that's where the band was usually. And usually it was at my dad's house at 4 a.m. when I'm trying to fucking sleep.
The hustler.
So, yeah, so I would pray they would leave,
Mm-hmm.
and I could hear them. Yeah, but anyhow, my story of coming to Seattle, I uh, I was working for a logging company
Mm-hmm.
in Washington State where you cut the trees.
Yeah, yeah.
But we ran out of work, so my father kept consistently asking me to come to Seattle, come on, son,
Mm-hmm.
you know how the fathers are.
Yeah.
And then, so eventually, when there was work for me and I was out of work, of course, I went. So that's how I entered,
Cool.
and immediately I was taken in by NAF Productions, the sound company,
Yeah.
and as not just crew, but obviously security, or I guess I was a very strong guy back then, very the kind of guy you want for security, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Except for I was a dumbass, so that did not help.
Okay.
But they just want to muscle, that's fine, but I'm a dumbass, mind you.
Okay.
So I lived with the crew, the sound crew, we lived in about 3 apartments in the top of a Seattle building on Dexter Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Really important, because at the time, so all the sound crew, all of our lighting crew, and our staging guys, we all lived together.
Yeah.
We had about 7 or 8 guys, and it was also directly across the street from our first official warehouse.
Yeah.
Which had 13 bands, one of them being Mother Love Bone at the time.
Oh yeah, cool.
We only had about 13 bands in this small warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
In Living Color came for a while, and a couple other famous bands came to stay, but to this early warehouse.
So what are some of your first memories from this warehouse?
Well, mostly we're working every day and every night. We get home at 3 a.m. We go to bed at 6 a.m. and we wake up at 3 p.m. It's very standard. So the first memories I have were just of the difference in culture. The drug culture, of course, was being created, and mostly it was the cocaine and a little bit of heroin that you'd see sometimes. Mm-hmm. But I lived in actually a drug house, because not only were they creating the sound company and the lighting company to tour with the band, on the side they were also selling things to make extra money, I suppose.
Okay.
So we don't need to talk about that, but just being truthful.
Yeah.
So my job was to throw people out, and because I wasn't into drugs ever, even then. Mm-hmm. So it was always my job to take care of the business and throw the people out, and which I gladly did, because I thought they were losers. Oh, yeah. But Lane and Demery hung out a lot at the house. The first real memory I have, honestly, where I'd like to kind of start, just jumping from the parents and jumping in the industry, is probably right to meeting Andrew, who was like this giant light, and jumping right in with Lane and Andrew, and then of course Chris. That was kind of our camps that we did all the sound for, and they, so most of the interaction I had was only with the bands, Yeah. And most of the people I knew were just directly the band members, because we were always working, Mm-hmm. So, but anyhow, I remember the death of Andrew is really what kicked everything into high gear. If anything, his residual energy is what's definitely responsible, for Pearl Jam, more than definitely for Pearl Jam, because also their formulas are his formulas. Yeah. But his explosion of energy created Cornell and Lane and many, many others, many hundreds of others. Yeah. That created thousands later. So that's the biggest thing I remember. Is the death of Andrew. Yeah. How I knew it was meaningful to all of us, even if we weren't directly related to him. It meant something.
Do you have any good Andrew stories, or what are some of your memories?
Let me see. Yes, of course. The first time I seen him, we were doing a show for him. We were loading in sound, and I didn't think much of him by appearance. Mm-hmm. Just generally looking. I'm not judging, but just looking. He didn't. But when he performed on stage, I mean, I honestly thought, oh, this guy, whatever, he's gay, he's this, he's that, right? Just because of his image and the boa and the way he was singing.
Oh, yeah. So this was Love Bone?
Yes, the very